obviously, this is a story that will anger a lot of people, but then again, at the same time, it's also, as I have said before, about ESPN. This right here is not exactly a, how do I say, self aware company. This is not a company that really and truly cares. As a matter of fact, it's almost like a very, very weird version of The View mixed with BET, mixed with other entertainment type channels or whatever. I'm just saying I'm not surprised by this.
You know what I mean?
This is asinine. This is like actually the most embarrassing thing I think I've ever seen in my entire life.
For sports people.
What? Yeah, that's what the award is for, yeah. Somebody who's committed their life to sport and everything like that. It's like when you do something like this, you know the immediate reaction from humans and from sports fans and like people with like...
This right here is absolutely embarrassing. But then again, though, given the fact that it is ESPN, I don't think we should be surprised. Okay, now before we get started and actually look at this story and kind of break it down, if you hear a boiling in the background, that's me boiling some oranges, some apples, some lemons, some cinnamon. Kind of a trick I saw online to kind of help me, how do I say, make the apartment smell a lot better. I quit smoking officially on last Thursday. It feels like it's been a couple of weeks since the surgery, but of course, if you've got a lot of numbness and whatnot or soreness, and if you've ever been in surgery, then you guys kind of know how it feels. Sometimes it feels a little bit longer than what it has actually been. But I want to do this story before the weekend closes, and there's probably going to be another video out on Saturday, so make sure you guys stick around for that. But this story right here to me, as much as it should anger people when they hear this, and it definitely angered me, it's almost like I'm not really that surprised that ESPN did this because this is kind of sort of who they are now. Or they have been since about 2010. But of course, we all remember that night that they chose to, let's just say, honor Jenner over at a U.S. Army soldier who had lost his arm and his leg both and CrossFit for a living. Yeah, that sort of thing there. That's exactly who these people are. So here's the story. Pat McAfee at this moment in time is currently under fire from ESPN because he obviously called this nonsense out.
Speeds are taking place here in a couple weeks. Promotions taking place. A lot of conversation about Pat Tillman's name, American hero, obviously football guy, who had a full football career ahead of him, said, nah, I need to go serve the United States of America. Ends up passing away with friendly fire, which was a whole scene of itself. Now there's an award named after him, as there should be in the sports world, because that is somebody who is the definition of selfless. It's going to Prince Harry. Oh. Who I don't even think he's a prince anymore, right? He said, don't call me that.
Yeah, he's been excommunicated as well.
Chosen, not...
See, why does the ESPYs do this shit? You know what I mean?
This is asinine. This is like actually the most embarrassing thing I think I've ever seen in my entire life.
For sports people.
What? Yeah, that's what the award is for, yeah. Somebody
now, this right here was the initial 40 seconds, and you're probably thinking to yourself that ESPN should be embarrassed by this, and they should be. If we live in the same world, these people would be shamed up and down the wall. These people, quite frankly, should be ashamed of what they're doing. But go back to what I said earlier. These are the same people who chose to honor Jenner for transiting over someone who had gotten their arm and leg both blown off in combat and had actually recovered from that with the prosthetics, would go into CrossFit, hike, all kinds of stuff. They chose to honor one over another. The one that they chose to honor is exactly the agenda that they're trying to push. So, no, you should not be surprised by what ESPN is doing nowadays. As a matter of fact, it should anger you. But like I said before, at some point in time, it's going to be kind of like, do we reward these people for good behavior, even though they've had so much bad behavior? That's kind of sort of where we're at in our society at this moment in time. But the questions do arrive more and more and more. They do arise more and more, or more questions arise as a result of these actions through this conversation. And the nonsense from what you guys just saw is Prince Harry getting an award. Getting an award that, quite frankly, should honor someone like, say, Pat Tillman. Now, if you don't know who Pat Tillman is, I'm going to very briefly explain who Pat Tillman is, and then we're going to come back to this more towards the end of the video because, obviously, the ESPY's past is going to be coming back up here over the course of this video. Pat Tillman was a football player, played for the Arizona Cardinals. You guys are seeing some stuff right here, the B-roll footage. Of course, this stuff in the B-roll footage came from NFL Films. Played for the Arizona Cardinals. He was a free safety. Gave up an opportunity to make a lot of money after September the 11th and chose to basically end his NFL career temporarily. From what I understand, it was going to be temporary at the time, or at least he thought it was going to be temporary. Who knows? And of course, he chose to join the Army and serve his country in the United States Army. He died in Afghanistan in a friendly fire incident. And ever since then, the NFL has honored Pat Tillman. And of course, they should honor Pat Tillman because Pat Tillman is one of those guys who, quite frankly, gave it all. If you've ever heard me say the phrase, some gave all and all gave some, what I mean is that all that gave some are guys like myself. Guys who went overseas and came back home, safe and sound, still living a life. Of course, we got to get surgeries and stuff like that when we get a little bit older. Once we got a little bit too much gunk in the crap, like our arteries and crap, obviously things are going to happen. Medical technology's come a long way. And of course, Pat, of course, falls into the category of some gave all, meaning he gave his life. And even though it was a friendly fire incident, he still gave his life in Afghanistan in service of this nation. So obviously, this award should be going to somebody of this guy's top caliber. But what did the writers at the ESPYs choose to do, or ESPN? They chose to give it to an ungrateful person like Prince Harry, who has slammed his own family, not even from the United States, by the way. I think that's the most important thing. Also, to go on top of this, is married to a woman who, quite frankly, got famous for Miller Lite ads in the early 2000s. Yeah, that right there is the type of clown show crap that we are dealing with to this day. And, of course, this clown show stuff, of course, is going to continue to go on. But at the same time, though, we should not be surprised by ESPN. I mean, they went from giving an award to Jimmy V to giving an award to Caitlyn Jenner ahead of somebody who actually served the country, did good for the country, actually fought back from legitimate actual injury like getting your arm blown off and your leg blown off and recovering from that and doing great things despite your injury. That right there is where we are at today. And of course, we got to talk about this because obviously this is who ESPN is nowadays. So what about Pat McAfee? Well, let's roll this first part, which was the initial 40 seconds, and we'll go through the rest of this bit piece by piece, and we'll break down exactly why it is that ESPN is as screwed up as they are.
And everything like that. It's like when you do something like this, you know the immediate reaction from humans and from sports fans and like people with like just common sense and brains. It's going to be like, yeah, I think he had I think it's a part of the entire process. And I assume Prince Harry, by the way, I don't know anything about him except for the South Park episode and then what I've learned from The Crown and everything like that. Like, did his people know, like, hey, you publicly put me up for this award. You're just asking basically every person that considers themselves, American, like saying this is bullshit, especially at a sports award type thing. Yes. I assume he knew that. They didn't expect that. It's like it. Nobody does. Yeah.
They probably don't know anything about it. They probably have no idea about the award. They just say, oh, of course, yeah, let's put you up for something. Let's get you, you can go give a great speech here at this American award show.
And I got a chance.
Okay, that was roughly about a minute. Now I want to talk about Harry for a quick second. Okay, the reason why I want to talk about Harry is this here. Harry does have a military background. He does have a past. He did do some time overseas. But the point is this right here. His time overseas is not the same as, say, what Pat Tillman's was. You see, Harry would go years after the conflict would break out. That right there being both the wars in Afghanistan and Iraq. He was a pilot, a lot like his brother William, who went obviously before him. And from what I understand, William actually saw action. Since Harry has been home, the only thing Harry has done is party like a damn rock star. The only thing he's done is sleep around, which, by the way, is appealing for a lot of young men to do. He's bashed his own family over his crazy wife. Now, look, if you want to give Harry an award for something, give him an award for being pussy whoop, because obviously pussy whoop men is all we have nowadays, especially pussy whoop men who make fun of the First Amendment and think it's bonkers and think that the United States is just a crazy house. Harry has no room to talk. This right here is the same guy who goes around all the time while in the limelight, constantly complains about not having any privacy, him and his wife, Meghan Markle. When obviously they go out of their way to inflame people's opinions so that way people will not give them any privacy. It's a ridiculous dichotomy, the likes of which I've never seen. And I can already hear somebody who's got more information on Pat Tillman, and don't worry, there will be more information linked in the description box about him that will talk about personal decisions or personal thoughts that he had when he was in the NFL, or things that, quite frankly, was exposed, that his family exposed at his funeral based upon how they act. Of course, they were pissed off. I mean, you just lost a loved one. You're going to be upset, so you're going to have certain opinions towards certain other members of the United States government, but still at the same time, though, it's our right to have those opinions. It doesn't really truly matter exactly what it was that one person did in their personal life. Mr. Tillman did, in fact, serve his country, and he died in service of his country because he obviously thought his country was much, much more important than his NFL career. Something that, quite frankly, is selfless action like that quite frankly, this nation has obviously lost sight of, because right now we're all about ourselves and ourselves. I mean, we're giving an award to Harry. I mean, like I said, it still baffles me that Jenner, somebody who, quite frankly, had some serious mental issues, gets an award for transiting, but yet you got a guy who lost his arm and his leg both in combat in service of this nation. He gets passed over. Now, I'm not saying he should get the award. I mean, God knows there might be somebody out there who may have went through worse, but still the point is this right here. Does that sound to me like somebody who should be bypassed in favor of somebody who just wanted to cut something off? That's just the clown world that we're at. But we got more to discuss.
Much to the chagrin of the people that run the ESPYs, they weren't necessarily thrilled about any of that and all that. But, like, come on, man. Come on. Because you can celebrate sport. We should celebrate sport. Especially like the worldwide leaders should celebrate sport in the moments and everything like that. But doing something like this is just obviously trying to piss people off. You know what I mean? And it's like there's been numerous decisions of this type of thing over the last, decade? 5?
Yeah.
I'll talk about the award itself and world and sport here soon, but bear with me. Now, there is this whole notion of possibly giving Harry a separate award or creating an award. I don't see how the hell you do that. And quite frankly, to go on top of that, even if there was said award like for world sport, I don't think that Harry should get it. I'm just simply saying, I think there's a lot more people out there that are better than him to get this award. I think that they're doing this obviously because if you've been on Oprah Winfrey, or if you've been interviewed by Oprah Winfrey, or if you've been in the nightly news, or you've been in the national news, and if you're a part of the agenda, a part of the club, that therefore you're obviously going to be honored for it. Now, there was one thing earlier I did not answer, and that is, does Harry even know that he got the award? To tell you the truth, knowing Harry, if he was called and he was actually asked or told, hey, look, man, you're getting this award, and he got the information and the fact that he was getting this award over somebody that, quite frankly, deserved the award, knowing Harry, he probably would not care. He'd probably take the award anyways. Probably because his probably because his crazy wife would force him to take it anyways, but still at the same time, though, that's just who Harry has proved himself to be in recent years. Just simply saying. Now, let me say this before I go any further. The Pat Tillman Award itself should probably go to somebody who is currently in the military, or it should go to somebody who's retired. Or it's possible that, and I can, like I said, this where it kind of goes back to that award that Jenner got, it's possible that they could have given the guy who, quite frankly, lost his limbs that year, they could have given him the award, or they could have given him a different award, even though Jenner still did not deserve an award, because the award that Jenner got was basically, the Arthur Ashe was given to Jenner because Jenner chose to cut that off. I don't think you should get an award for, mutilation, but still at the same time, though, YouTube will find a way to yell a dollar sign for this video. Just saying.
And I think there's one person that has kind of been put in charge of this entire thing. Like, it's like, come on, bro. Come on.
It's just a gimmick. It's like you couldn't find like either some active U.S. military member or someone who can't serve anymore because of something that they did while serving,
right,
who is somehow like, there's probably hundreds and thousands of people that they could have found who could have benefited from this award, but instead, let's give it to Prince Harry.
Make up an award.
Yeah.
Yes.
At the very least, somebody from the United States.
Or just make up an award. How about it's like the ESPY for royal family member who doesn't want to be called royal family member who loves sports.
Yeah.
Those two.
Got a good ring. Got a great ring to it. They should do that.
That'd be a sweet award.
They could
Makes
do
sense.
that. They could do that.
Or do like a global one. Like if they
they could do whatever they want, really.
Yeah.
Obviously.
It's embarrassing.
It is. It's tough.
The good news is, however, is that everybody else on that table, from Ty Schmidt to Boston Connor to AJ Hawk, they obviously understand that Prince Harry should not be getting an award. They're saying that maybe we should come up with an award, come up with an award for him, but obviously he should not be getting an award, especially the Pat Tillman Award. Okay, the point is this right here. Harry does not deserve an award. He's royalty. What? You're going to give him an award because he denounced the fact that he's a prince? He denounced his family? Come on now. People are absolutely crazy. But like I said before, you should not be surprised. And that right there, to me, is the main reason why it is, at the end of the day, it is still embarrassing for ESPN. But here's the point. The point is this here. We've gotten to a point in time in our society where people, quite frankly, don't get embarrassed anymore. ESPN especially, they don't care anymore. They don't care about the fact that their network is for the most part becoming BET. They don't care about sports anymore. They care about agendas and pushing agendas. They care about crazy stuff. They care about stupid stuff. They care about the stuff that, quite frankly, is stuff that the elites only care about. That right there is who ESPN is nowadays. It is not exactly an organization that is worth watching anymore. It's also an organization that is losing a lot of cash, and they're desperately scrounging everything they can to sign Stephen A. Smith to a massive contract extension. And, of course, him being the face of the company, he's probably not going to be objective to this, because as long as it's not some white, red-blooded American who gets the award, he's probably not going to have anything to say, because obviously the scriptwriter's got the script right, and, of course, he's not allowed to say what he really thinks. But then again, at the same time, he lets you know every now and again. The point is this right here. Pat McAfee, who kind of hinted a little bit about possibly being there at the ESPYs to speak, he should probably bring this up. I think it would be one hell of a thing for him to talk about. But here's the point, and one more point that I want to get across. I hope and pray that Pat McAfee does not do like he normally does when he gets in trouble. I hope he doesn't just bow and apologize to the mob, because this right here is a situation where you absolutely 100% desperately cannot bow to the mob. But I want you guys to just think about this for a second, because the thing that you really and truly need to kind of consider with this is that this is just who ESPN is nowadays. They have no respect for the country. They don't know who to honor. They don't want to honor anybody for the country, because, quite frankly, these people are absolute idiots and loons. I mean, they don't even do their own statistics right. Like, I've actually watched them do several debate shows, of course, going all the way from First Take all the way to Pardon the Interruption. These people don't even bring up numbers or stats, and they even get things wrong from time to time. So if they can't get basic stuff that they're supposed to present correct, then obviously they're not going to care about this here, especially given the fact that it's the Pat Tillman Award, and quite frankly, it should be given to somebody from the United States who actually served the United States, not just some angry, spoiled ingrate from England who got pissed off because he was scared his child was going to come out not the color he wanted, which I think is kind of funny, too, when you think about it, because Meghan Markle markets herself as black, but it's pretty obvious that she's not. Just saying. But you guys tell me what you think in the comment section. We'd love to hear what you guys have got to say. Now, it's 4th of July weekend, so make sure you guys stay safe. Don't get too jacked up or anything. Obviously, I can't really do anything this weekend, but still, make sure you guys have one or two from me. Please hit the like button, subscribe, share the video, sound off in the comment section, and I'll see you guys later.